Hi, welcome to WQLN Homeroom. I am Miss Sarah, and the reason that I love teaching is because I love getting to learn all kinds of new things. And do you want to know a secret? Lean in real close so I can tell you. Whisper it because it's a secret. You're a teacher too. Can you believe that? I get to be a teacher and you get to be a teacher. This week, we're going to be learning all kinds of things about birds. So I brought my friend Tweet with me here today, and Tweet's going to be coming along with us while we read a story about a really grumpy bird, and we're going to talk about some birds today and some letter sounds. We're going to do all kinds of fun things. How does that sound, Tweet? Tweet, 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 tweet. I think he likes it. So the story we're going to read today is about a grumpy bird. Now, Tweet, do you know what the word grumpy means? Tweet, tweet, tweet. Oh, do you think you could maybe whisper it to me and tell me what it means? Because I'm not quite sure. Tweet, tweet. Okay, let me see. Tweet, 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 tweet. Ooh, Oh, okay. So Tweet says that grumpy means you're in a not so good mood, you're kind of grouchy, maybe you don't really want to be doing what you're doing. So in the story we're going to be reading today, it is about a grumpy bird. So Tweet, I'm going to set you down for a second while we read our story. Does that sound okay? Tweet, 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 tweet. Okay, so I'm going to put down Tweet here. And then, make sure you're nice and comfy, Tweet, so you can hear the story. We're going to read our story today. So, are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so our story today is called Grumpy Bird. And like I said, the word grumpy means that you're in a not so good mood. Has there ever been a time that you've been kind of grumpy? I bet there has. Sometimes I'm grumpy when I have to wake up in the morning and I'm really tired, or sometimes I'm grumpy when I have to put my toys away when I didn't feel like being done playing with them. So everybody gets grumpy sometimes. So this is Grumpy Bird. Let's read this one together. When Bird woke up, he was grumpy. Look at that grumpy face he has. He was too grumpy to eat. He was too grumpy to play. In fact, he was too grumpy to fly. Looks like I'm walking today, said Bird. I want you to look closely at that grumpy face he has. Can you show me your grumpy face? This is what I look like when I'm grumpy. Kind of how Bird looks. Bird walked past Sheep. Good morning, Bird, said Sheep. What are you doing? Walking, said Bird. Well, that's nice, said Sheep. I'll keep you company. So he's going to walk with Bird and keep him company so he doesn't get lonely. That was pretty kind of him to do. Bird walked past Rabbit. Hi there, Bird, said Rabbit. What are you doing? I'm walking, and it's no fun, said Bird. Well, I could use some exercise, said Rabbit. I'll walk too. Oops, so now he's got two friends walking with him. Bird walked past Raccoon. Hey, Bird, said Raccoon. What are you doing? I'm walking. What does it look like? Said Bird. Well, it looks like fun, said Raccoon. I'm coming too. Oh, now he has three friends walking with him. Bird walked past Beaver. Hello, Bird, said Beaver. What are you doing? Let me give you a hint. You can do it by placing one foot in front of the other. Walking? Guessed Beaver. I love walking. Bird walked past Fox. Good day, Bird, said Fox. What are you doing? Why does everyone want to know what I'm doing? Yelled Bird. I'm just walking, okay? Okay, said Fox. Let's go. That's a grumpy bird. bird walked, so the other animals walked. Oh, look at them all walking in a nice straight line, I bet, just like you do when you're at school. Bird stopped, so the other animals stopped. Huh, what is going on here? They're copying what Bird is doing. Bird stood on one leg, so the other animals stood on one leg. Oh my gosh, can you stand on one leg? Let me see you try to stand on one leg. Wow, that's awesome. Sometimes I get really wobbly. Bird jumped, so the other animals jumped. Let me see you jump as high as you can. Ready, set, go. Oh, very nice job. Great jumping. Hey, this is kind of fun, said Bird. Ooh, look at that face. Does Bird look grumpy anymore? Come on, said Bird, who had forgotten all about being grumpy. Let's fly back to my nest for a snack. They're flying to his house and they're gonna get a snack. He's not grumpy anymore. How do you think that Bird feels now that he's not grumpy? I think he's excited and happy. And they did. Oh, look at the snack. Whoopsie. Look at the snack that Bird is feeding them. He's feeding them a worm. Oh, gross. I do not think that I would want a worm for my snack. Well, that was a pretty good story. Tweet, what did you think about that story? Did you think that was a good story? Tweet, 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 tweet. Ooh, I liked that one too. Okay, so in that story, the bird was kind of grumpy, and I don't know about you, but I can get pretty grumpy sometimes. And when I get grumpy, there are some things that I like to do. When I get grumpy, I like to find all kinds of things that I enjoy and make me happy. So some of those things are I love to read books. So when I get grumpy and I wake up and I'm in a grumpy mood, I love to find a good book and read it, and that makes me happy. Some of the other things I like to do when I'm grumpy are play with my favorite toys. I'll go and I'll hunt inside my room and I'll find that one special perfect toy that makes me happy, and I'll play with that, and that will make me feel so much better. So if you're ever grumpy or grouchy, that's something you could do. Find things that make you happy and it will make you less grumpy. Also in the story, the grumpy bird had lots of friends. How were the friends treating the grumpy bird in the story? Were they mean to him? No, they weren't mean to him. Were they sad like the grumpy bird? No, they weren't sad. All of the friends in the story were happy and they were excited to be playing with Grumpy Bird. So if you want to be a good friend, and I know that all of you are, when you are a good friend, if you have a friend that's kind of grumpy or grouchy or sad, you can play with them, be kind to them, be nice to them, and maybe their mood will change and they will be less grumpy. What do you think? I think that's a great idea. What do you think, Tweet? Tweet, 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 tweet. Yeah, I think so too. Okay, Tweet, so it's time. We read our story about some grumpy birds, and now it is time to learn about some birds. What do you think? Tweet, 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 tweet. Me too. All right, I'm gonna go get my stuff so we can learn about some birds, and I'll meet you right back here. Okay, sound good? Okay, so now that we have read our grumpy bird story and we talked about what it means to be grumpy and how we can be kind and be a good friend to others. I know, I'm getting there, Tweet. Hold on. we are going to spend some time talking about some different types of birds today and learning about some special things about them. And then afterwards, we are going to play a little game. How does that sound, Tweet? Tweet, 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 tweet. Good. Okay. So before we talk about our birds, let's take a look at our buddy Tweet here. And Tweet has some special things to him that all the birds that we are talking about today also have. So Tweet has his wings right here. He's got this wing on this side and a wing on this side. Tweet also has his legs and his beak, right? Tweet, 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 tweet. Tweet, I know. Tweet has his beak where he loves to sing and tweet. He also has his beautiful feathers and his eyes. So Tweet has a lot of things that the birds that we are going to talk about today have, but there are some differences with Tweet and some of the birds that we're going to talk about as well. So Tweet, is it okay if I set you down so we can show the kids some pictures of some birds? Tweet, tweet, tweet. Okay, so I'm gonna set Tweet right back here behind me. Tweet, I'm gonna put you right here, buddy, so you can be with the kids while we watch all of our pictures. So I'm gonna start with the small birds and then we will get to the large birds. So the first one, and this is the smallest one, this one is a hummingbird. And a hummingbird is very special because it has its long beak, that long beak. As you can see, it has this super long beak that it uses when it drinks. Now, sometimes people put out some, it looks kind of like a red juice for hummingbirds. They'll put it out in their garden and the hummingbirds will come. The other thing that's really cool about hummingbirds is that they fly really fast. Their wings move super duper fast. You can barely even see them when they are flying. So the hummingbird is the smallest bird that we're talking about today. The next bird that we are going to talk about is this one, and this is a blue jay. Now the blue jay is pretty small and it has small legs and a small beak. It has 2 wings, but the special thing about the blue jay is that the blue jay has this bright blue head. It has a bright blue head. So if you're ever outside looking and you spot a bird and you see a bunch of blue, it's probably a blue jay. The next small bird that we are going to talk about is the robin. And the robin is usually out in the springtime. It comes when it just starts to get warm. And the robin has this bright red belly. So when you're looking outside and you see a bright red belly on a bird, it's probably a robin. A robin also lays beautiful eggs. So if you ever see a nest with some bright blue beautiful eggs, they are probably robin eggs. Now the next bird, and this one is my favorite because I think it's the coolest one, is a medium-sized bird. So it's not small, but it's definitely not huge. And this one is called a toucan. Now the toucan lives in the rainforest, and it has this bright beak that it uses when it eats its fruits and veggies off the trees or the insects outside. So this is the toucan, and it lives in the rainforest. And the last bird that we are going to talk about is a peacock. Now, a peacock has bright wings that it spreads out like a fan for other birds to see when it is coming. Now, the peacock usually walks on both of its legs and bounces its head back and forth as it moves. So this is the peacock, and that's another really cool one. So the game that we are going to play, Tweet, are you ready to play our game? Tweet, tweet. Okay, so Tweet's gonna help us play our game, but what we're going to do is I am going to remind you of the birds that we talked about, and then we are going to decide the sound that the bird starts with and what letter makes that sound. So I have some capital letters down here. I'm mixing them up, and we're going to take some guesses. So let's see how smart you are. Are you ready? Here is our first one. What letter is this one? This is the letter R. Good, and R says put those teeth together, for robin, robin. Okay, here's the next one. This is what letter? Letter B. Good, and B says b, like blue jay, very nice. Here's our next one. What letter is this one? Good, this is letter P, and P says p, like peacock. Peacock. Good. We have 2 more. What is this one? H. Good. And H says like you're blowing hot air outside for hummingbird. And our last one was for my favorite one. This is T. T for toucan, Very nice. Okay, so I'm gonna mix them up and we're gonna do lightning round. See how fast you can tell me what the letter is and the sound it makes. Are you ready? Here is the first one. Letter P. Good. And P says P, P, P. How about this one? This is letter B, and B says B, B, B. Good. How about this one? Letter H. Good. And H says Okay, we have this one. This is R. Good. And R says for robin. And the last one, T for toucan. Very nice job. You guys are super smart. You know your letters, that's for sure. So here's what we're gonna do. Now that we've learned about those birds and we have talked about the letters and the sounds that they start with, now we need to make a special craft so if we are outside, we can spot some birds. So let's go make that craft. Okay, so it is time to do our craft for the day, and I'm really excited about this one because we're going to be making some bird binoculars. Now, binoculars are just a fancy word for something that helps you look really far so you can see things more clearly. So I'm going to make sure that I have all my stuff, and then I'll meet you right back here so we can do our craft together. Okay, so I think I got all of the things that I need for my craft today, and I'm going to explain to you what you are going to need if you would like to make this craft. Today you are going to need 2 toilet paper rolls, or you could have one long paper towel roll, and mom and dad or grandma or grandpa or whoever is with you could help you cut it in half so that they are the same size. So you're going to need those. You're also going to need a piece of paper to use for the outside of your bird. This is going to be your bird's feather color. So I'm going to use this pinkish color, but you can use whatever color you would like or what you have. I'm going to use the blue for my bird's wing color. He is going to have an orange beak. And you're going to need some white paper for the eyes of your bird. You're going to need some scissors, a marker, and some glue or some tape. So, we are going to start by doing the outside of our bird. So what you need to do is you need to take your 2 paper towel rolls and we are going to glue them together. So I'm going to do that first. So I'm going to take my glue, put some glue on the outside. Make sure you get enough, but not too much that you make a big mess, or you could use a piece of tape. And you're gonna put your glue and you're gonna stick them together and hold it till it's nice and stuck together just like this. Then you're going to take your paper that you're gonna use for the outside of your bird and you're going to lay it on your table and you're going to lay your paper towel rolls on top of it and roll them with the paper so that it is on the outside and glue the paper on. So I'm going to do that next. I'm going to put some glue on my paper. Maybe if my glue will come out. Oh, there we go. Put my glue on my paper and roll it on. So it's on. Put some glue on the other side. Now you're going to have some extra, so we will cut it off once we are all finished. So I've got them glued on. We need a little bit more glue right here on the end. And then you want to make sure you push it down nice so it's all nice and stuck together. Because if it's not quite stuck, it won't stay. So We've got it all glued together here, okay? So now that we have it nice and glued, we are going to cut our paper at the top right above where our toilet paper rolls are. It's going to be kind of tricky to start, so you might need an adult to help you cut it. But you're going to cut it so that it fits your toilet paper rolls perfectly, just like this. So now that we have it glued together, we've got the outside of our binoculars all covered. Next, we are going to work on making our bird wings. So I had said that I was going to use blue to make my bird wings. So I have my blue paper, and I'm going to just draw some bird wings on here that I can cut out. And then I am going to glue them onto my bird. So I'm going to give my bird 3 little wings. So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3 little wings, just like this. And then I'm going to cut them out so that I can glue them onto my bird. Make sure when you are cutting, you are being extra careful that you do not accidentally hurt yourself or accidentally cut something that's not supposed to be cut. We're only cutting the paper. So there's 1 wing, and wing number 2 getting cut out here. Now I love that we're making these binoculars because when we're all finished with them, we can take them outside and we can use them to look at birds outside. Okay, so now that I've gotten my binocular body done and I have my wings, I'm going to take my wings and I am going to glue them onto my bird so my bird can have some flappy wings. So I'm going to glue my wings onto my bird. This can be kind of tricky, so if you need an adult to help you, make sure you find an adult. Okay, so I have 1 wing all glued on, just like that. You can see the wing is glued on. And now I'm going to glue on my second wing here. If you are making this craft, it might be easier to use tape than glue, but if glue is all you got, then you can make glue work just like I am doing. Okay, so now I have my bird with my 2 flappy wings, and the next thing we need is our, on tweet you can see it, his beak. So we are going to take our orange paper and we are going to cut out a oval to use as our beak. An oval is like a long circle, so you're going to cut out an oval. And then once you have your oval cut, you're going to take it and fold it in half so that you have your bird beak like this. And then you're going to glue part of your beak onto your bird. So I'm going to glue the bottom part of my beak on. So my bird can have a nice beak. And you can have your bird with your beak open, like my bird, or you could have your bird with your beak closed. And then the last 2 steps to making our bird is you need to cut out 2 circles for the eyes, and then we will draw the eyes onto our circles and glue them on to our bird. Now you can have eyes that are even, or you can have 1 big eye or 1 small eye. You can have it look however you would like. So I have my white circles cut out. I'm going to quickly glue them on to my bird here. There's 1 eye. and 2 eyes. And then I'm going to draw some dots on my eyes, just like my eyes. And then, once you have your dots drawn, something that you could do that is not something you have to do, but you could do if you have some string, is you could attach a long string to the back so that you can wear it around your neck. So here is what mine looks like with the string, so that I can wear it around my neck, and when I'm out and I'm hunting for birds, I have it on my neck and I can look, but if I don't want to use it, I can just have it hanging down around my neck. So I hope you had a ton of fun making this craft with me. I know that I had a blast. Okay, well that's about all the time we had today, but I hope that you had a ton of fun getting to learn all about birds today and getting to spend some time with me in tweets and reading about our grumpy bird story, and of course my favorite part of the day, making those bird binoculars so that when we go outside and we are bird hunting, we have something extra special to use. But until next time, I want you to keep reading, keep learning, and keep watching WQLN PBS, where learning comes to life. Bye.